from the bottom of my heart to welcome each and every one of you here to the District 3 family. We are really excited about who we have presenting this evening. Who is here for the first time? Wow, guys, look around the room again. Look at that. First time. Give yourself another huge round of applause. How many of you are not only here for the first time, but have never done a deal yet? Those of you, keep your hands up. How many of you that haven't done a deal yet are really, really worried about what it takes to be an investor? Right? How many of you have no idea where you're going to get the money from? You have no idea where you're going to get the deals from. You have no idea how to do the business, or maybe even don't even know what a wholesale is. If that is you, relax. Take a deep breath. Because we all got started somewhere. Okay? You're in the right place. That's what I can share with you. I am an active investor out in the field every single day. I'm a commercial multi-unit investor. I own property from Alabama, North Carolina, Georgia, Maryland, the Eastern Shore, Baltimore, mobile home communities, apartment buildings, so on and so forth. But I sat right there 17 years ago, and that's exactly how I got started. Single mom in a homeless shelter, got hit by a drunk driver, almost lost my life 18 years ago. Guys, I know what it's like. So, relax. You're in the right place, and I'm really excited that you're here tonight. So, for those of you that I didn't get a chance to speak with, this is our yellow flyer. You go to districtreia.com. That's our website. It's going to share with you everything that we have going on. We're a very unique and very different type of REIA. Why is that? I'm an investor. Andre's an investor. We believe that in order to be a successful investor, you have to invest in your education. You have to know what is going on in your market, because every market is different. You have to understand what is going on in your business. The market in Baltimore is totally different than the market in Northern Virginia. Okay, two totally different markets, but yet it's still the local market. You have to build relationships in this business. It's all about who you know. It's about cultivating, nurturing, and building and networking with like-minded people. And you are in a room with powerful, highly energetic, like-minded investors. You're in the #1 capital and the #1 market in the country. The nation's capital of the United States of America. Yes, it is expensive here, but deals are being done day in and day out. We teach you, guide you, and coach you on residential, on multi-unit, on wholesaling, on how to flip, on how to find the properties, on how to find private money. Anything that you could possibly need as an investor in your business, our #1 goal is to make sure that we are consistently providing that to you. Does that sound fair enough? Okay? Cutting edge. I want you to have the latest, greatest information and resources that we get access to so that you can further your career. Because this is a business. You can make it a hobby, but it is a business. And it's about creating financial independence and financial freedom in your lives, because that's what everybody wants, correct?
Yep.
That's why we want to invest in real estate. I will tell you, as an investor, there is no other greater vehicle than real estate to achieve financial independence. It will not happen overnight. It will not happen in a week. Possibly may not happen in a year. It may take a couple years. It's a lifestyle commitment. It's a commitment to your education. We bring in the best national speakers from all over the country, the best local speakers, coaches, and educators here locally. And what's awesome about Captain Pete is Captain Pete lives locally, but he's a national speaker. And that's what's so exciting. One of my very, very, very dearest friends. We have been friends, Andre and I, and Captain Pete and a couple other guys. We're in a mastermind group for many, many years. And it's just so exciting to see all that he's done and all that he's doing. He's got a wealth of knowledge to share with you. He's out in the field, out in the trenches every day. He's also a pilot for U.S. Air, flies transatlantic. So to have him here tonight, you guys don't know how lucky you are. It was all we could do to get him out of the air and get him grounded so that we could have you guys here. So really, really exciting. If you have any questions about membership, please let Andre or I know. There is no contract to sign. There is no fine print, guys. District REIA is a family. We believe in serving you and supporting you. It's $47 a month, or our higher tier is $147 a month to get to attend all of our meetings for free. With that being said, Scott, would you please come up for a moment? Guys, help me in welcoming Mr. Scott Blair from Mid-Atlantic IRA. Your bow tie.
It's August. Bow tie takes time off during August.
Okay. Okay. So why I wanted to bring Scott up here is for two reasons. For those of you that have this flyer, and for those of you that have been members with us for several months, for several years, we have always held the first Wednesday of every month the Real Deal Investment Club meeting in Falls Church, Virginia. You can strike that. We have now eliminated that meeting. All right, everybody, say aww. Oh, but hold on. Don't get sad. Andre and I have been talking with Scott. We're very, very excited that I believe as an investor, I know Andre believes as an investor, we wouldn't have done this. How many of you believe that one of the greatest and most powerful ways of learning is to touch, see, and feel, and actually be at a property on site, seeing everything that's going on? I totally agree. I'm a visual learner, and I love the CDs, and I love the books, and I invest heavily in my education. My car is nothing but CDs. It's a university on wheels. I don't listen to the radio. I very rarely ever watch TV. I read incessantly. Tip, 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 tip. That's how I learn, okay? But being on site is what it's all about. So starting next Monday, the fourth Monday of every month, it'll be on the website, you'll get emails, we're going to be at a property in DC that has either just been purchased by an investor, a member, an associate, a coach, whoever it may be, or it's in the process of being rehabbed, or it has been completely rehabbed, and it is staged and it is on the market. We will have food there. We will have contractors there sometimes, but whoever the investor or the owner of that home is will be there to answer any and all questions that you have. How did they get the house? Was it a wholesale? Was it a flip? Was it off the MLS? Was it referred to them? How did they find their contractor? What was the initial MAO, the maximum allowable offer that they paid on it? What was the ARV, the after repair value? What did they list it for? Why did they stage it the way that they did? And so starting this Monday and every fourth Monday of every month, now we have something brand new and exciting. Make sure you mark your calendars. The properties are going to be determined on an as-needed basis because we don't know where they're going to be. These are going to be live, real deals that are going on right now. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Cool? I am psyched. Aren't you?
I am.
You want to tell them a little bit more about it?
I will. Let me just tell you real quickly. Everyone had on your chair this card. And this is, you need to sign up here. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not committing to anything. But this is where you'll get notifications about when we're meeting, where we're meeting, and all of that sort of thing. It also creates a kind of a nice place for us to dialogue before or after. And if you're familiar with Meetup, you know what a great tool that it is. I started this group, and along with this group, I run about 6 different meetups all across the country. And I started this one, I think, last fall. And I started in a very traditional sort of let's have a meeting sort of thing. And it quickly came to me that that was boring. And in fact, we were going to talk about real estate, then we ought to go to a piece of real estate. Something other than a hotel. Not everybody was interested in buying a hotel, so why meet in a hotel, you know? And one of the first people to volunteer, Dave, actually waved Dave at the back of the room, volunteered a piece of property, and we have used several of Capital Housing's property. Here, wave, over here, that's also part of the team. And it is a lot of fun. Now, we don't, as Tammy said, we don't know what we're going to necessarily get in terms of when we go. We like to see it in all sorts of stages. My only rule is June, July, and August, the AC's got to be running. And we tried that once before, and that was that was difficult to keep everyone's attention. Anthony was one of those. He knows what that was like. So here's the idea. And my interest is this. I work for Mid-Atlantic IRA. Our focus is teaching people how to use their retirement dollars and other people's retirement dollars, more importantly, to fund these kinds of projects. So I figured that in order for you to get really excited about a project, it's a good idea if you go look at one. Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, 3D, smell it, touch it, feel it, all that. Great networking. I tell you what, I'm a huge believer in one very simple thing as it relates to any kind of business, that ultimately your net worth is going to be a function of your net worth, right? So it's not only a matter of what you know, but it's who you know you can share what you know, if that helps. And there's no better way than when you're walking around and you're talking and you're chatting and you're shaking hands. You know, everybody kind of, as soon as the door opened, rushed in here tonight and got staked out your seat. Maybe you got to meet a few people around you, but I'll bet there are people here that you haven't met yet. Here's the good thing about when we go on property. There's no seats. All right? So you're going to meet lots of people, and that makes it an awful lot of fun. I am thrilled that Tammy and Andre have joined in with us. This group, I think, represents DC better than any other group. They are committed to all parts of DC, as you can tell by the simple fact that we, as a group, don't meet in the same place week after week after week. We bring it to you, the investor. And Monday night is just another step towards really bringing it to you. Does that sound good? Yep. All right. Anybody want to come? All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you. We don't have a cap really on reservations. I am really looking for us to blow it out Monday night. Typically, I will tell you this: we run somewhere between 20 and 30 people. Since we have started the group, now that we have opened the doors and are co-promoting, I'm really looking for us to run into significant.
When we did Joe's property where we've been, when it was total gut down to studs, we had over 60 people there. I mean, it was standing room only. So you want to get there early. This house has now been finished. It is remarkable. He blew up the top. He blew out the back. It is nothing like you've ever seen before, and it's something you want to aspire to do as an investor. And Joe is just...
And if I am not wrong about this, he got that piece of property
from one
as
of our
a wholesale deal from one of the members.
From Louise Battle, one of our members wholesaled this deal to Dr. Joe.
So,
yep.
Once again,
we'll talk about that on Monday.
Thank you all very, very much. If you didn't get one of these on your share, somebody stole it. Look at it. Watch your pocket. I've got more if you need them. Thanks.
All right. Any questions before we get started? You guys ready to learn?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Without any further ado, because Captain Pete is so special to me, actually, I can't bring him up just yet. You know why? Because you got to do a drawing. Is there anybody that did not put their card in the spinner? Come on up. Pete, stand by.
You recognize it?
Yeah.
If you don't have a card and you want to rip up a tiny piece of paper, I'm open to that. Put your name on it.
I've got an extra card if you want.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. It works, don't it? That's all right. All right. Thank you. Guess what the gift is tonight? The beauty for me is, guess what I just did? I'm going to teach you guys tip number 1 right now. I just collected all the business cards. Okay, so guess what I get to do with those? No, I'm not going to email you and spam you. Okay, that is absolute no-no. But what can I do with all those business cards? Add them to I can create a buy, no, cannot sell information. Add them to a buyer's list. Okay, start creating a list. But the single most important thing when you take somebody's business card is not to leave them in the spinner, not to leave them in your purse or your wallet or your pocket. Say that again, Mike. Follow up. I met you at the RIA last night. Could we get together for a cup of coffee? Because you're sitting near me right now. You don't know who's sitting next to you. You don't know what they can provide to you in your life and to your business, whether they have private money, whether they have a house to wholesale to you. You don't know who's sitting right next to you or who is in this room. So lesson number 1, gather the business cards, but follow up. Okay? That's number one. So what are you going to get tonight? Every year, the girls of District 3 go to the beach for a week because I believe you got to have fun, and I believe you also got to celebrate at the same time. So we rent a big 9-bedroom house once a year. Down in Bethany, we go down, and it's absolutely a lot of fun. While I was on the beach, I read The 1 Minute Millionaire. Anybody read this? This book changed my life. I hadn't read it, and I just read it, The 1 Minute Millionaire. It's actually 2 books. It's a book on the left, and then a book on the right. The book on the right is actually a story. You read that first, when you get all the way to the end, then you flip, and you read this story. It's all about investing, but it's a story about someone's life, and it profoundly impacted my life so much that I bought 5 boxes. I have 50 of these sitting at home in my living room so that I can share them with you. Secondly, would anybody be interested in a 1-hour one-on-one with me? Okay, that's my give it to you tonight. 1 hour, one-on-one, to talk about your business, to strategize, whatever it is that I can do to serve you as an investor, help to make a difference in your life in any way, shape, or form. I will not chase you. I will not follow up and hunt you down. You must contact me. We will set up a time to meet either via phone or meet in person, and I will make sure that I can do and will do everything that I can to impact your life and make a difference in your life. Anybody want this prize tonight? Yep, awesome. Plus you get the book. So Captain Pete. Now, if everybody would please stand to your feet and give my special friend a huge District 3 warm welcome. Woo!
No, they'll know I did.
Better you than me, right?
Yep.
Are you warm? It's really hot.
Yeah, I'm on fire. I'm losing the tide here in just a moment. Oh, this is just too funny.
Really?
What are the chances?
Should we put it back?
Yeah, let's put it back.
Is it FA?
Who said that?
Should we tell him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead. Okay.
Where's Clifton?
I see the logo back. Come on up, sir.
You in Oceanic Services?
Yes, sir.
I knew I talked to you.
Okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
There you go, sir. Please look up with me before the end of the night so I can do my personal number.
Yeah,
baby. All right. You ready to rock the world? Because I know you will.
I am.
All right, take it away, my friend.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go see about the hotel, about getting that air turned down just a little.
Okay.
And have a great evening, guys.
How's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
Awesome. I'm doing great too. I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad to be here with you. And get the technology going here. Open sesame. Nothing. I see a light coming. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to make your first deal? Some of you have been wondering that for a long time, haven't you? Have you ever allowed yourself to dream and to wonder what it would be like to make a regular cash payday from your real estate business? I'm not talking monopoly money, pony money. I mean the real kind of money you can spend. $10,000 checks, $20,000 checks, and big ones. Have you ever wondered what that would be like and how that would change your life? Or what meaning that would attach to your life? Have you wondered that? Have you wondered that? And so I ask this question whenever I begin speaking. If time or money wasn't an issue, what would be different than it is today? What would be different for you? Where would you go, Don? Turkey. And when you got to Turkey, what experience would you want there?
Explore the old cities.
Explore the old city. Taste the old civilization. Experience it. Taste the food. Smell the food. Drink the coffee. Who just recognized what I did with Don? You see, one of the things that we forgot to do, and one of the things that I'm here to remind you to do tonight, and actually I'm here to give you permission again, is to dream.
Yes.
Oh, Justina. Is to dream. And we've forgotten how to do it. We used to be great at it as kids, weren't we? And now you take a look at those that are driving around the Beltway working their JOB, and they're 45 years old, and this is what they look like, right? You ever seen the expression on their face? It's that or... And I consider that dead. They just haven't been buried yet. And they go week after week, month after month, year after year, like a drone, until they kick over at age 65 or maybe 70. And so we forgot how to dream. And I want to give you permission to dream again. And so promise me this. Well, when you leave me today, you'll go back home and dream. And I want you to write your dreams down. And I don't just want you to write, I want to travel. Because I'm not going to let you cheat yourself. I want you to put the color on it. I want you to put the texture. Just like I had the conversation with Don. What would you see? What would it smell like? And write that down. Here's why. When you hang out with me in this real estate business, or this business we call real estate, I'm going to ask you to make some behavior changes. I'm going to ask you to change the way you think. I'm going to ask you, most of you, to go from employee to business owner. And that's going to require me to activate something called your subconscious. Because you know what lives in your subconscious? What? That's where your creativity lives. And that's what I've got to get switched on again. Because that's going to put the color, that's going to put the motivation, the real motivation in your life. And I want that for you. I'm going to cover with you tonight wholesaling. I noticed a lot of you had your hands up in the air. You're interested in getting started in real estate. A lot of you haven't made your first deal yet. I understand, I get that. What happened?
You stepped on.
I stepped on it. It's making a noise. I think it's going to come. Yep, I see a light coming. And so I want to activate that creativity in your subconscious. I want to switch it on. I want to help you make the jump from employee to business owner. And so I want that for you. I want that for you back. All right. I'm here to cover with you wholesaling. This is entry level for real estate investors. In this thing we call wholesaling, I'll show you and teach you how to make chunks of cash. Who likes that? You didn't even ask me how big a chunk.
Down there.
You don't care, it doesn't matter. Well, that's actually the right answer. That's actually the right answer. And through this wholesaling, I'll show you and I'll teach you how to make chunks of cash, whether it's $2,500 who's interested, $5,000 who's interested, $7,500 who's interested, 15, 20 grand who's interested, 30 grand who's interested. Okay, that's what we're talking about. That's the order of magnitude of wholesale chunks of cash. And we're not talking equity, we're talking real chunks that you can deposit in the bank and write a check off of. Whether it's $2,500 or whether it's $30,000, whatever your first deal winds up to be, I really don't care. Because guess what your first deal does for you? It turns on the belief switch. It helps once again activate your motivation, activate your creativity. It makes you go, I gotta do this again. You won't be able to stop that. So tonight we're going to talk about wholesaling. We're going to talk about flipping houses. We're going to talk about flipping contracts. How many of you are afraid of real estate? Nobody? You lied. Yeah, I do. How many of you don't have enough cash to get involved in real estate? Think of thinking. What I'm going to share with you tonight, and again, this goes back to wholesaling, is that you don't need a lot of cash to do this. You don't need to take bank loans out to wholesale. And it's just a matter of finding the right deal and putting it together with the right buyer, and then taking a little piece of the action on the way and getting really well paid for it. What I'm going to teach you tonight in this entry-level thing we call wholesaling is the basics. It actually winds up being the foundation of real estate investing. That's why Andre and Tammy asked me to come and spend time with you tonight. Because there are some aspects of this as business owners that we need to kind of understand. We need to know about marketing. We need to know what that means. We need to know how to apply it. We need to know how to get people motivated to want to call us up. That's one thing. We need to know how to do another kind of marketing. We need to know how to market to find people that want our deals. We need to know about the paperwork, don't we? What kind of paperwork to fill out? And by the way, I'm going to rock your world tonight, because I'm going to teach you that kind of paperwork that not a lot of people know much about. And my attorney up in Baltimore calls it pure genius. And then I'm going to teach you how to create that feeding frenzy so that when you have a deal, you'll know it's sold before you even put it under contract. What does that mean to you as a new investor? It means get paid. It means get paid fast. So I'm going to cover those principles with you tonight. That's the foundation of real estate investing, no matter what level you want to go to. Whether you want to focus on wholesaling on steroids, and by the way, that's what I'm known for in this town, is running the bus tours where I've sold as many as 8 deals, wholesale deals in a single day. You do the math. Tammy was with me. She saw me do it. 3 Trailways buses with 144 investors going house to house that I had under contract and wholesaled off for a margin for each one. So what are the 5 easy steps for wholesaling for quick cash? Bang, number 1, build your buyer's list. The folks who teach you wholesaling all around the country, some of the big names, the Purple Book guy and some of the other ones you hear about, they really don't know about this. They teach backwards. See, how many of you had a deal under contract and then nobody wanted it, it fizzled out? Find it again? Yeah, I know. You see, I call it like playing tag. It really doesn't do you much good if you got a house under contract, you got a deal under contract, and you don't have buyers waiting in the wings that are ready, able, and willing to buy that deal. And so it all starts with the buyer's list. See, what I'm teaching tonight, folks, is not hard. It's just a little bit different from what many of you have already been taught and told. Just a little bit different. Okay, so start by building the buyer's list. I'm going to teach you tonight how to do that. Number 2. Attract motivated sellers. This is the heart of the marketing. In marketing, we have a term we use called USP. You know what that stands for? Any marketing geniuses in the room tonight?
Unique selling proposition.
Unique selling proposition. Thank you. That's exactly it. What is that? A unique selling proposition is this. It's a message that's so compelling it causes somebody to want to pick up the phone and call you to interact with you with whatever you're buying or selling. It's called the USP. In our business, our USP is what?
We buy houses.
We buy houses, cash. We buy houses fast. We take over payments. Okay? So whatever the USP is, it's actually pretty narrow for us. Okay? You don't have to reinvent it. Use what works. We buy houses. We buy houses fast. We buy houses cash. We buy houses. Sell your home in 7 days. Okay? So that is called a unique selling proposition. I'm going to cover with you tonight some of my favorite methods of attracting motivated sellers. negotiate the deal. Negotiate the deal. That's just a fancy way of saying what to say and how to say it. You know what's really interesting? When a seller calls you who's really motivated, it almost doesn't matter what you say. All they want to know is if you can really buy their house. Once they figure that you can, they're blowing your phone up. How quick can you close? How quick can you come see the house? Who was my girl? Justine. I'm going to take a break just for a second. Is that okay?
Sure.
One of the things that you're going to learn about me, I'm an energy guy. And the more energy I feel from you, the more energy I'm going to give you tonight. You know what that means to you? Number one, you're going to learn more. But number two, I'm around about $1,000 worth of stuff I'm going to give away. When I feel the love. Justina is going to get, with that little CD, she's going to get to be a fly on the wall and listen to me talk to these motivated sellers about what to say and how to say it. It's part of the system I put together to teach how to do this. But what don't you going to learn tonight by listening to that CD when you get home on the drive home in the car? I've never talked to these people ever before, and you're hearing it for the first time that I've ever talked to them. And you're going to hear one gal say, "Oh, whatever works best for you, Pete, that's what we'll do." And you'll get to see what I said and how I said it to get her to respond to you that way. And that's called Talking to Motivated Sellers. Okay? And that's a CD, and it's part of the system I put together. Because I want you to know what to say and how to say it. One of the things I know about new investors is you start your marketing, and you're all excited, and then your phone starts to ring, and guess what? That receiver on the telephone all of a sudden weighs about 800 pounds. I can't answer it. I'll take it. I'll call him back. I'll call him back after I've had my coffee. I'll call him back after lunch. I'll call him back right before dinner when I get home. Well, maybe I'll call him tomorrow. And then the procrastination starts. And it's all because you don't know what to say, you don't know how to say it. And so we solve it. That's solved for you tonight, because now you got the CD to know how. Negotiate the deal. One of the things you don't know about me yet is that I'm a professional negotiator. Did some of you know that? A couple of you know it. I negotiated labor deals for the airlines. I did that for 6 years. I've been toe-to-toe with Warren Buffett personally. You ever saw that movie, Wall Street? I lived that for 2 years. Where every week I was in New York up at the investment banker's office and the lawyer's offices negotiating an airline restructuring on behalf of the pilots. And so you get the benefit of my policies, my procedures, and my checklists, because you know we're checklist driven as pilots. And you get the benefit of that applied to real estate. And so that's what I put together for you. That's why that CD is so powerful for you. Because what I said and how I said it is not by accident. It's with specific intent. All right, negotiate the deal. Prepare the paperwork. What does that mean? It's a fancy way to say, lock it up, put it under contract. There's lots of different ways that you can put properties under contract. There's the traditional way where you use the board realtor's contract. It's like, how many pages is it? 34 before you're done? 36? You can do that. Whose interest does the realtor's contract protect?
So,
The brokers. That's what all that gobbledygook is all about in there. And it's confusing. And your sellers really don't know what they're signing. And it makes it difficult for us to deal with as investors and as wholesalers. We can deal with it, but it just makes it just incrementally just a little more difficult. You can also use a simple contract. Now, my simple contract that I use with most sellers is 3 pages. It's plain English, and it's got everything on it that needs to be on there. As a matter of fact, got it for you, but all my paperwork.
So are you dealing with for sale by owner or on the sale property?
Trust me. Do you trust me? Listen, I'm going to fill you overflowing. I'll have every one of your questions answered before you ask me. Just trust me. Just trust me. And so there's my simple 3-page contract. And then there's the secret sauce. There's the magic. And that's options. I'm going to talk to you about options tonight and fill you in a little bit, give you a taste of what it's about. How much money do you need to put a house under contract? Where's my realtors over here? How much? 5,000? 1,000? Anybody 1,000? 500?
No,
How much?
$250.
$250? Oh
Even less than
man, I have you.
$100.
Has $10 down.
that.
Has $1 down. Is that possible? Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
For sale by
Who says really? Say really?
Real.
No, for real. Yeah. As a matter of fact, remember I was telling you about those bus tours I was doing? Sold 8 in a single day to hungry buyers. Most of those houses I had under contract with an option. And an option gives me the right but not the obligation to buy the house. And most of them I had under option. When I talk to a group like this, I tell them a little fib. I tell them $10. You forgive me? Because I found nobody believes the truth, which is $1. Most of them I had under contract for $1. The truth of the matter is they never even wanted the dollar. They just wanted the house gone. And they knew that I could do that. I could get rid of that house. So we'll talk about options tonight. And we'll talk about contracts a little bit tonight. How to prepare the paperwork. And then how to create the feeding frenzy. For those of you that have had deals that have fizzled out on you, how frustrating. When you do your marketing and you do the negotiations and you get the paperwork done, and now you're like, okay, I'm ready to get paid. And nobody's interested. Frustrating. Solved tonight. Okay? Never again will that happen to any of you in the room because you're hanging out with me and learning how to do it the right way. And the right way is take advantage of their greed glands, please. Take advantage of their greed glands. If I took a $100 bill and dropped it over here and said, whoever wants it can have it, how long would it stay on the floor?
It was not very long.
Would there be a frenzy of a few people trying to go up and get that $100 bill? What if it was 1,000? What if it was 20,000? I'd be run over, right? No, I'm really being, I'm not kidding now. I'm really not kidding. If I dropped 50,000 in a bucket right here in front of you and said, hey, who wants it? Who of you are going to run me over to get it? All of you? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Because you know the money's in the can, right? The biggest mistake wholesalers make is when they present their deals to their buyers, they don't prove there's a bucket of money in the can. Oh, light bulbs are going off all over the room right now. You see, when they know the $50,000 is there, they're going to race to get it because they know if they don't get it, just like you in the room, if they don't get it, somebody else is going to get it, like the company. And we create the feeding frenzy by proving that money is there. Way down. And when we do that, watch out. Your phone will light up. How quickly can I get in the house? All right. Why did Tammy and Andre invite me to be here? Yes, we're good friends. We know each other a long time. They wouldn't waste your time just to meet one of their friends. The reason they invited me to get here and be here and spend some time with you is because I'm one of the biggest wholesalers in Washington, D.C., the Washington, Baltimore area. I focus on the 95 corridor from Northern Virginia all the way to Baltimore. See, I've already shared with you I run the bus tours. I've had as many as 3 Trailways buses full of investors, cash buyers wanting my deals. I actually wholesale at a rehab today. Yes, I rehab right now as we speak. I've got a coaching program. I teach people how to rehab houses. I'm an author. I've written books. I've written the gold course you see here in front of you. I wrote that. It took me a year of my life to write and create the DVDs that are there, just so that you would know how to do this the right way and get regular wholesale paydays. I want that belief switch turned on. I'm creating wholesalers all over the country, and I'm thrilled to do it. All right. And then I'm an expert in the media. I've been on Lou Dobbs' Money Line. I've been written up in the Washington Post. I've been on talk radio talking real estate deals. And as Tammy shared with you, yes, I'm a national speaker. I'm in demand. I get asked to speak all over the country. I'm very selective where I go. And I only pick the places where I know that the group is being properly led, just as you are with Tammy and Andre, because they care about you. And I only work with folks that are real. And so when they say, you're lucky to have me here, it's a little self-serving for me to say it, but I'm just saying it. Because I turn down more than I go to. So that's why they invited me to be here with you. I've got a lot to share. So get your pens ready. All right. Life wasn't always so good for me. Tammy told you I'm an airline pilot. I've done that for a long time. It's what I wanted to do since I was 3 years old. And after 9/11, things weren't so good if you were a pilot in this country. Did you know that? The airlines all went bankrupt. The one that I worked for went bankrupt not once but twice. And you know the worst part? Worse than taking the $40,000 pay cut. Worse than losing a pension. You know what the worst part was? The worst part was not knowing from one day to the next, when I went to the airport, whether or not the doors were going to be locked. Because I had a kid. I had a house. I had kids. They're at school. I had a house payment, had car payments. That was the worst part. And so I'd be awake at night, couldn't sleep. Who am I talking to? And who comes on my promise sheets? I bought his book for $250. I read it cover to cover. I knew probably everything was already in there. Until I got to the back chapter. And it's talked about the RIA clubs, just like this one. I never heard of that before. I never knew about these clubs. And so I looked it up online and came, just like all of you guys are, and have done tonight. And then I started getting education. I started learning. I started hanging out with other people who wanted to do this. And then my belief level, my belief switch got turned on. Back in these dark days, I got a call from a reporter on the Washington Post. He said, hey, I was told you're one of the guys I should talk to. How's it going for the pilots? How are you guys coping with the pay cuts and job uncertainty and everything? I said, oh, I don't pay much attention to it. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I flip houses. And so I don't really care too much what the airline does. I'm not tied to them anymore. He goes, really? He says, that's interesting. You talked to me for about an hour and a half. He says, can I send a photographer out? And I said, sure. So that's a picture of me and my wife, Sally. We're in our costumes. And he asked us to wear our costumes. That's in one of our rehab houses. And so the Post came in and did a story on us. And so, even through the bankruptcies, I'm still living my dreams. I'm still creating memories for myself, for my family, for my loved ones, with my friends. Isn't that what life really is about? Is the memories that we create? It's not about one more day at work. It's not about one more deal. It's about those memories. And it's the ability to create those memories, because when time and money are no longer an object, you have lots of choices now, don't you? And so that's what it's all about. These are the things I like to do. These are real pictures of me hanging out doing the stuff I like. I play golf at exotic destinations. That's out at Cheyenne Mountain Country Club in Colorado Springs. I love to sail. That's me and my wife, Sally. See the boat in the background? That's the boat I chartered. Just me and her tooling around the Virgin Islands for 10 days. Every day we'd throw the anchor out on a new island. And we'd snorkel, we'd cook on the boat, we'd wake up in the morning, This is the best part. With a Caribbean breeze, drinking my fresh brewed coffee. You know what kind of coffee I drank down here?
Blue Mountain.
Alto Grande. Anybody know what that is? That's the coffee that comes from Puerto Rico that the Pope drinks. That's the Vatican's coffee. These are the sunsets from the back of my sailboat down in the Virgin Islands. These are my buddies. I ski with them in Colorado. And we go ski in the trees out in Breckenridge and Keystone. And so that's the stuff I like to do. And I hang out with my friends. We go to expensive dinners and expensive parties and stuff. But it's not about me, is it?
No.
No. It's about you and activating your belief that you can do it. Who knows they can do it? Right? Who says, I'm not taking any prisoners? Who says, I'm going to do whatever it takes to do it? Yeah, exactly. Good. I'm hanging with the right folks. Now what I want you to remember, I wanted you to start writing your dreams down. Write yours down tonight. And it may not be things. It may be people. I mean, I'm so blessed with the things I get to do. You guys ever heard of Frank McKinney? He's the founder of the Robin Hood. You heard of him? Yeah. He takes from the rich and gives to the poor. He's a rehabber down in South Florida on the beach. And his current house, I think it's the one he's renovating right now to sell, and we're talking on spec. You know him, Dave? Frank McKinney? I was down there with him when he was breaking ground on it. It was going to be $135 million. That's what the offering price was going to be for a spec house. I was down at his house talking to him, and he says, Pete, he says, I don't need the money anymore. He's I've made all the money that Nilsen, his wife, and I will ever need. He says, so for me now, it's all about giving it away. And he built a village for 1,000 homeless in Haiti and gave them the houses. Gave them the houses. By the way, it was the lady of the family who got me, not Doug. And the church elders decided what families got the houses. So I was privileged. I got to actually supply 2 of those houses when he did it. So what are your dreams? Fill it in tonight, will you? Don't do it for me, do it for you. Write it down. Talk to your loved ones about it. And get to buy-in so that it activates your creativity. All right, so what is wholesaling? Let's get into the meat of it tonight. By the way, do you guys mind if I relax? Can I roll up my sleeves? Can I take my tie off?
Sure.
Because I'm getting hot, and I got a feeling with this group I'm going to get a lot hotter. What is wholesaling? Help me out.
Designing a bar, selling it to a bar.
What is wholesaling?
To me, it's finding the sellers and matching them up to cash buyers.
Okay. Can I paraphrase that? Finding a bargain and selling it to a bargain hunter for a profit. Who are my wholesalers in the room right now? Oh, I got lots of them. That's great. What is your name? Shri. What's a bargain? That's because Amy's wondering right now. Okay, that's easy. So what's a bargain? What's a bargain?
You get it at below market value,
Below market value
minus the rehab.
minus the cost of repairs. All right.
Minus the closing cost.
All right, so you're talking about a modified Mayo formula? All right, for those of you in the room who don't know this term, it's called Mayo. Write this down. Mayo stands for maximum allowable offer. I'll give you the formula. Don't worry that you don't know what it means. I'll explain it. Mayo stands for maximum allowable offer. That's the most you can pay for a house. So MAO equals ARV times 0.65 minus repairs, minus wholesale profit. Only for you. Write this down. MAO equals ARV times 0.65 minus repairs, minus wholesale profit. That formula is the golden rule that rehabbers use to determine whether or not the economics of a given deal makes sense. You see, it builds in a profit component for them, so they know what their minimum profit's going to be on that house before they buy it. If it falls outside that Mayo formula, they're not interested. It's too expensive. Who are my rehabbers in the room? Several. Rehabbers, are you on any wholesalers' mailing list? Sherry, let them see your face. Sherry goes, yeah, I'm on some mailing lists, and they're pretty gruesome. Thank you. Here's what the rehabbers in the room know. Your competitors don't get it. Your competitors don't understand the formula that they need to know whether or not a deal is going to yield the profit that they need or not. They don't understand the formula. And even if they know the formula exists, they botch it all up. They overstate the value, they understate the cost of the repairs. What it means is they're trying to sell a dog. Whether they know it or not, they're trying to sell a dog. Yeah, that doesn't fly, does it?
No.
No. It doesn't fly in Washington, D.C., and it doesn't fly in Paducah, Kansas. And so that's why, with you guys paying careful attention tonight, you will separate yourselves. When you apply what you learned tonight, you'll separate yourselves from 99% of your competitors. The folks in the room that are real rehabbers, if you deliver them the deals where they know that they're going to get the bucket of money, where they know the profit is real, you can become their full-time marketing department, and they'll buy from you whatever you bring.
Okay, I want to swing. I've been doing this at 0.75, and in July I made 100 offers without acceptance of any of them. So I'm supposed to lower even more?
When. Yes. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is you get that under contract, and then you're running around trying to run around and tag it to somebody who's not going to buy it. Maybe a beginner will buy it, and they buy it from you once and then lose their tail, and that'd be the end of it. Okay? Forget about it. Look. I made 100 offers, and I didn't get any accepted, and I even overpaid. So what?
So I make 1,000?
No.
I keep making them? I mean, it's frustrating.
No. You put your net in a different pond. You're competing with folks you can't compete with. You're competing on the MLS. You're trying to get REO deals, and you're competing with the Wall Street hedge funds who don't understand value and are willing to overpay. If you want to compete with them, good luck. Because the rehabbers in this room are not interested. Even if you do get it. Can I burst your bubble? No, I just saved it.
My bubble got burst making 100 offers and getting rejected.
I just saved it. Can I make it easy for you?
I hope so.
Stop making REO offers today. Stop today. Okay? Push your net in a different pond. Go where they're not. Make your offers directly to the homeowners. Go after the short sales. Keep at it. Put your offers there. Go after the short sales. Use direct mail. I'm going to teach you tonight how to do it. I'm going to teach you tonight how to do it. What I'm saying is, the height of frustration is to do something that's not working and keep doing it. So I'm not going to let you do that from this moment forward. I'm glad you shared it with the group, because now they're going to know how important it is to learn the message tonight on marketing. All right, so what is wholesaling? Simply finding a bargain and selling it to a bargain hunter for a profit. And it's a math issue, right? Did you guys get the math? MAO stands for maximum allowable offer. I want you to double underline the letter M. That stands for maximum. Times 0.6. MAO equals ARV. ARV stands for after repair value. That means, what's it going to be worth once it's fixed up and drop dead gorgeous? Then you subtract the cost of repairs, and then you subtract your wholesale profit target. Whether it's $5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, whatever, you build it into your offer price. And that's the most you can pay. So if you get a dealer contract that meets Mayo wholesalers, is that a bargain? Anthony says it's a bargain. Who agrees with Anthony? You agree? Who else agrees with Anthony? You ladies agree? Anybody else agree with Anthony? Alex, you agree with Anthony? Kind of? A little bit? Okay. Let's talk to our rehab. Let's talk to our rehabbers in the room. Pamela, come up here and talk to me. We're going to share some knowledge. You guys want the inside track? Come on, I'm going to help you with it. Pamela, you're a rehabber, aren't you? Pamela, I got this house. It's so cheap. You interested? It's really cheap. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. Look, here's the point. Is it could be as cheap as $1,000. But if you can't sell it once it's been renovated, what good is it? In some neighborhoods you won't operate in? Maybe? Maybe not? Okay. You operate in the war zones? Oh. You operating under high tension lines? No, I don't. You operating with toxic mold?
Yeah.
Oh. So no matter what the numbers are, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bargain. Is that what you're telling me?